boy, wait till you hear the exchange between Dave Ramsey, the financial guru radio host, and one of his callers. He was hosting the show recently with his daughter, Rachel Cruze, who's also an author and financial expert. And they had a caller call in to get Dave's opinion on top of some information they found on his website, but to get his opinion on how much they could withdraw from their retirement account without risking things, so to speak, without ever running out of money. Now keep in mind, Dave Ramsey is usually a pretty conservative dude. He's the type of guy that'll tell you if you're not where you need to be financially, to sell your financed $30,000 car to go out and buy a $4,300 or whatever amount Camry or something basic like that, and pay cash for it until you've saved up enough cash and all your other finances are in order. Then at that point, if you have enough money to pay cash for the new car that you once had, then go for it. If you're not making enough money to follow his plan and you call in asking for help, he'll tell you things like, man, go get you another job or start selling some stuff until you're in position to own those types of things. But you got to hear Dave's very surprising approach when he talks about how much money you can pull out of your retirement account safely. You're gonna absolutely get a kick out of this. But first, let me remind you that the general rule of thumb, not Dave's, but the general rule of thumb out there, or at least one that's more popular, is that 4% rule. Without going into too many details, the 4% rule in a nutshell says that when you get into retirement, you can pull 4% annually out of your portfolio, basically without going broke in your lifetime. Here at Protection USA, we pioneered the Rule of 17, which basically shares that you can pull 6% out of your account, your retirement account, during each year during retirement without the fear of going broke. But Dave Ramsey just took this whole thing to a whole nother level. Listen to this.
I'm trying to best understand my plan with the end in mind. So how I'm going to turn that nest egg when I retire into income. I found on your website a little article that talks about 4 to 5% withdrawal rate. And I was trying to run the numbers around that, and I thought I was close. And then about a month ago, George Camel released a video that said that the withdrawal rate for a 30-year time horizon should be closer to 3%.
By the way, George, who they just referenced, works for Dave, but Dave isn't liking what he's hearing.
Okay, I'm a little confused because I don't know what the hell George is doing a 3% withdrawal rate, because that's absolutely wrong. I'm going to have to find out where that video is and get it taken down, because that's just wrong. You don't need to have a 3% withdrawal rate. That's ridiculous. Or I hope you misunderstood. I hope we didn't put out trash like that.
Was it 4 to 5%?
No, it shouldn't be 4 to 5%. It ought to be more than that.
So at this point, you clearly have Dave's opinion. He's not a fan of the 4% rule when it comes to pulling money out of your retirement account. He made it very clear it should be more than that. Does he believe we're right with being able to pull out 6% comfortably, or does he even go further?
I mean, if you're making 12 in good mutual funds, and the S&P has averaged 11.8, and if inflation for the last 80 years has averaged 4%, if you make 12 and you need to leave 4% in there for inflation raises, that leaves you 8. So I'm perfectly comfortable drawing 8.
So there you have Dave's opinion, and it's not 4%. He thinks it should be even more than 6%. He's basically saying that you should be able to comfortably make 12% annual returns, deduct 4 for inflation. I don't think inflation's quite that high, but I don't know what time frame he's looking at. But take the 12% returns, deduct 4% for inflation, and then that leaves 8% that's yours to withdraw each year and spend on your living expenses. Let me give you my 2 cents on this, and then let me let you listen to another clip where Dave completely flies off the handle when it comes to the origin of this 4% rule. You think he was fired up before? You're gonna wanna stick around for a few more minutes and listen to this. But first, my 2 cents on Dave's logic. First of all, for his logic to be right, you gotta consider all the ingredients he's talking about here. And one of them is the ability to consistently earn, on average, a 12% annual return. The problem with the 12% return means, or is, that there could also be a 12% negative return sometimes. Now, I get what he's saying. He's saying average, so fair enough. Some years it might be 12 or more. Some years it may be negative 12 or more. But when you put it all together, okay, average 12% returns. We feel confident in the rule of 17 because our 17, a big portion of your assets are backed by annuities. Annuities that are very inexpensive and have 100% principal protection. In other words, you can't lose money in these annuities. By the way, if you want to learn more about R17, check out this video right here. It's our full video front to back on how R17 can work for you. The moral of the story, in my opinion, is this, and it seems Dave Ramsey agrees with me, or not only just agrees with me, but also takes it even further. So many people go into retirement with whatever number, but let me just use $1 million as an example. They go in with $1 million thinking that they're only going to get $40,000 a year out of it to live on. Of course, this is due to the 4% rule. Instead, they feel like to accomplish their goals, maybe they need $2 million, and they realize, I'm just not going to get there. It's just not going to happen. It's not in the cards. Then they get depressed. This whole 4% rule, at least for a lot of people, it's just simply stealing your future joy. I mean, if you think about it, whether it's the 4% rule, R17, our rule, or what Dave's talking about, none of these rules invade your actual principal, your body of cash that you're using to generate interest. None of them take that down if the plan works properly throughout your entire retirement. So if you enter into retirement and apply any of these rules, and let's just assume whatever one you use worked for you, you're going to die with $1 million, the same amount you walked into retirement with. Most people don't think about the fact that it's okay to gradually bring down your portfolio. Bring that $1 million. Yes, use the interest, but also bring some of the principal down over the course of retirement. Of course, not too fast. You don't want to run out of money, but bring that balance down so that you can live that retirement life you've often dreamt of. Consider this one additional thought before we jump back into a clip I want you to hear from Dave Ramsey. He doesn't have any skin in the game here, and he still gives you this advice. When a financial advisor, at least if they're a commission-based financial advisor, asks you to keep that kind of money in place throughout your entire retirement, keep in mind that means they're going to still be making commission for the entire term of your retirement based on the $1 million, if we use our scenario from a few seconds ago, as opposed to that $1 million getting smaller, which would mean their commission is getting smaller. Now, please don't understand, I'm not implying that because of that, they don't have your best interest in heart. I believe most of them do. But have a good relationship with the one you're doing business with and make sure that they're not allowing that commission light bulb to shine too bright when they're giving you guidance. So here's what Dave really thinks about the 4% rule.
There's all these goobers out there who have always put this 4% crap in the market, and I'm just irate right now that we have joined the stupidity.
Why is it that stupid, though?
It's too low. It's too low because it's not realistic. You do not need to live on 4% of your money for your nest egg to survive. And what it sets up is this guy now, he doesn't think he's got enough money. Stupid people put out low withdrawal rates. And so when you tell people that $1 million creates a $40,000 income, you go, oh, I've got to have $2 million and I can't make that, then this system doesn't work. So what you're doing with this bogus math is you're stealing people's hope. That's why I'm pissed about it.
Guys, keep dreaming those big dreams for an amazing retirement. Don't give up hope. Don't walk around with your tail between your legs because someone told you you didn't do enough. You're doing way better than you think. Check out our full video or podcast on R17 to learn more. And until next time, may God bless you.